I teach upper division classes in cell biology, including the upper division lab class. A fun fact about me is I'm a cycling enthusiast, and as soon as all this is over today, I'm going to watch the World Championships that are recorded on my television.
Millie.
Good morning. My name is Millie Ling Tsai, and I advise for the microbiology and biological sciences majors. A fun fact about me is that I've owned over 20 cars in my lifetime, so almost every single brand you can think of. If you want to come by and talk to me about cars, feel free to.
Awesome. Just an FYI, we have peer advisors that will trickle in towards the middle of our presentation, so they will be introducing themselves then. And I guess for our students, I just wanted to point out that, as you can see, there's already a lot of people that are very excited to welcome you to UC Davis, that care for you and are very excited for you to move on to this next chapter of your life. As we move throughout our presentation, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to use the Q&A feature. As you can see, there's a lot of you, so about 911, and there's not so many of us. We'll try our best to get through all of your questions, but for those questions that are most frequently asked, we will go ahead and use them to kick us off on the panel portion of the presentation. And if we are not able to get through all of the questions then rest assured we will be able to send you some answers either electronically or posted on our website. All right, so moving on, let's talk about academic success strategies.
All right, hi everyone. So today I'm going to be touching base on academic success strategies. Just as a quick note, I do want to mention that these are just a few tips and tricks that we as advisors find to be helpful for students to incorporate within their first quarter at UC Davis and beyond. There's many more tips and strategies out there on campus that mentors can provide for you, but these are just a few that we're going to share today. As you can see on your screen right now, there's a cartoon picture of a student who is focused, studying. I would imagine this will be you in the next couple of days, so enjoy your weekend while you can. Top left-hand corner there says create calendar. Basically, I would encourage all of you, first week of classes, if you can, have a calendar that you have on your wall, a personal planner if you want to carry that around with you, or even utilizing your Outlook calendar or even a calendar on your phone. Start very early on, jotting down when all of your midterms, your exams, your quizzes will take place, any projects, lab assignments, even your finals. Put that all on your calendar. This will allow you to see big picture what the next couple of months will look like in this quarter. And so you can plan ahead and make sure that you're on task and making sure you complete your assignments. While we're on that topic of marking things on your calendar, I would also encourage you to jot down allotted study time for yourself. Whether you figure that you're a morning person that likes to study or an afternoon person or an evening person, block off that time on your calendar so you're accountable to make sure that you are studying outside of class the appropriate amount of time. If you keep in mind that for every hour that you're in class, you should actually be studying for at least 2 hours. It sounds like a lot, but it's definitely a tool that you can help utilize to make sure that you are putting that time on your calendar to make sure you're getting your work done before you attend your classes. On the bottom right-hand corner, it says very boldly capitalized. It's underlined as well. It says be ready and show up. So what that means to me is make sure that you're ready for all of your classes. So if you haven't already received it yet, you more likely will receive your syllabi for all of your courses. So just make sure that you are up to date to all of your course readings every week, because when you attend your classes, you will be able to get a refresher from your faculty member or even ask questions for any material that you wanted clarity on from when you were reading. Show up to all of your classes. That's underlined for a reason. We are virtual for a fall quarter, but still show up to your virtual classes as you would if we were in person. It's very important because this is the time where you actually get to engage with your faculty, your classmates, learn additional information if needed. If you miss a class for any reason at all, you're missing a lot of information that you more likely will have to catch up on before the next class session. But life happens, so if you do end up missing a class session, please just be transparent with your faculty, let them know, and connect with them, ask them what material you need to pick back up on to make sure that you're on track for the next class. Moving on to the top right-hand corner, office hours. faculty will be hosting virtual office hours. They want to help you, so please make sure that you utilize their time as well. This is a great time for you to connect with them virtually and ask any questions or concern from the professionals that's teaching the class and grading your work. So I highly recommend, if you can, reach out to them during office hours. It's not only a great way to connect in with regard to the class material, but they basically do want to help and support you if you have any questions about research opportunities, life outside undergraduate career here at UC Davis. They definitely want to help you and be that mentor for you as well. So please utilize their hours. There's definitely tutoring that's going to take place across campus virtually, which is awesome. We have a few slides coming up that are going to go a little bit more in depth about the different departments that are offering tutoring. So I'm going to hold off on that information for now. But keep in mind, we do have tutoring available, especially for your STEM classes. If you have any questions about who to reach out to, you could definitely let your BASC advisor know. We can let you know where to go to, give you the warm handoff to those different departments. Study groups, I would definitely encourage this if you can participate in a study group, formulate a study group with your classmate. It's a great way to build community with students that are in the same position as you, right? You have students that are going to be taking the same STEM classes. If you can build those relationships with your classmates, you guys are going to be on the same page and feel like you have that support from one another. And a great thing about study groups is that you can feed ideas off of each other and continue to learn the material that you were discussing in class. So I think that's pretty neat. Second to the last item there, understand your academic record. That's really important, your academic standing. At the end of every quarter, you're going to receive grades for all of your classes. You want to make sure that you are meeting university standards to maintain good academic standing, but you may even have your own personal standards. You may want to receive all A's or a mixture of A's and B's in your classes for certain programs you want to apply to. So making sure you meet those standards is really important. If at some point within the quarter you're having difficulty in your classes, please reach out to your BASC advisors. We can help make sure that we connect you to the resources across campus to get you the support that you need, so that way you're prepared before finals arrive. So please reach out for help if needed. If I can end on a note that I'm pretty sure you've heard many times, please visit with your academic advisor. You know, we're not here to just help make sure that you are checking off those boxes to complete your bachelor's degree, but we really want to help support you holistically as best as we can. So please attend our express advising office hours that we will have every week, or schedule 30-minute appointments with us, or even email us. We're all here to help support you. So that wraps up my portion of the presentation. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Dr. Kaplan, who's going to go a little bit more in depth about different learning styles and how understanding that can help you be successful as well.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So these are some tips that I've sort of put together over the years of teaching large lecture classes as well as small lab classes. And the main lesson that I want you guys to take away from this is that the strategies you learn for getting good grades in high school are probably not going to translate perfectly to being in college in the quarter system. So this is a chance for you really to be reminded that you have to come here and you have to make yourself an active learner. And this is even more important in our remote learning environment this fall quarter. Okay, but the advice I'm giving you is actually important even when you're in person. So here's some tips. Actively engage with your material. In this case, it's going to often be asynchronous material. In other words, they're going to be media videos usually. They can be from 15 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on your class. So you're going to need to figure out how to do that. One suggestion is to find a way to isolate yourself from distractions. Turn off your cell phone, find a quiet space if you can. Come to the material actively connected to it by creating a rough outline. Before you start watching it. Use the learning objectives from the course itself as a way to cue yourself into important facts in the lecture. I think this is the most important suggestion. Chunk out the material, and what I mean by that is don't expect yourself to binge watch your lectures. This is not Netflix, okay? Take it in 5 or 10 minute increments. Maybe use your outline to watch a specific segment of the lecture pertaining to a subtopic in your outline, and then take a break. It's really hard to absorb all the material in one sitting. Okay, attend and be prepared for any live sessions. This is a really kind of a silver lining of the remote sessions is that you can ask questions. And as we can see in the Q&A, everybody likes to type their questions out much more than they like to raise their hand in class. So make a list of terms for yourself before you attend. You can simply ask for a clarification, okay? Remember, you're learning to speak and think like a biologist, so you may not be familiar with all the terms that you encounter. Pre-type out your questions, that way you can copy and paste them right into the Zoom chat or even read it aloud. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is really important. Develop your own learning strategies. So this is kind of what I said at the outset. Be prepared to experiment. The strategy that you begin with may not be the best one for you, and that's okay. You're going to learn how to do this optimally. What kind of learner are you? Do you prefer to learn visually, auditory, kinesthetic, reading, writing, or maybe it's a mix of all of those things? So try them out for yourself. For me, I love to draw diagrams. I love to draw things out. I'm a terrible artist, but still just drawing really helps me connect with any material that I'm trying to learn. Okay, it was already mentioned that you should think about study groups. Personal interactions are incredibly important to be able to learn material, to bounce ideas off your peers. So create virtual study groups, Slack, Facebook, Google Hangouts, Discord. There's a lot of platforms. In fact, ask your instructor to create a contact sheet for the course so you can reach out to other students in the class to do this kind of thing. Excuse me. Develop time to review material and practice, right? So this is really key. Don't just sit in the lecture and say, okay, I'm done. I sort of get it. That's never the way we learn. Try to re-explain concepts. Do it from the notes. Perhaps record yourself, right? You can record yourself using Zoom or even on PowerPoint. Draw diagrams, write a summary. Remember, there's no shame in not understanding. Being in doubt is really part of learning. But you should not allow it to persist. You should get help as soon as possible, go to office hours, ask TAs for help, or reach out to peer tutors for help. Don't let it wait to the last week of the class. Okay, those are my main tips. I'm always happy to answer other questions if you have them.
As Ken said, being in doubt or confused is part of the learning experience. However, you want to make sure that when this happens, you are seeking help from resources on campus, such as tutoring. The academic assistance and tutoring centers offer one-on-one tutoring and tutoring workshops where students can get assistance and clarification on course content that you may be struggling to grasp. Not only do they offer one-on-one tutoring, but they also have class notes and practice problems on their website that you can access as supplements to your learning. Can we go next slide? Thank you. Whenever in doubt or whenever you need any guidance, please meet with an advisor at the Biology Academic Success Center, BASC for short. We have peer advisors, staff advisors, and master advisors. Peer advisors are students who have been in your shoes, so they can share with you tips on how to, be successful in major classes, as well as recommend maybe some GE courses that they've taken. Staff advisors, we are professionals that can assist you with a variety of things, such as academic planning, like creating a graduation plan, navigating university resources, and guiding you through different processes, such as changing majors, adding a minor, or even exploring the option of double majoring. And then we have master advisors. They are your professors in your majors. They can help you really have deeper conversations regarding your major. Or regarding research. So if you're a biochem major, for example, and you want to have an in-depth conversation regarding anything biochem related, our master advisor would be happy to chat with you about that. I strongly encourage you all that if there's ever a question or concern you have, reach out to BASC. If we can't answer your question, we'll make sure to refer you to the correct office on campus. The Office of Educational Opportunity and Enrichment Services is another great resource for you all. This office provides pre-grad and pre-law advising for students who are considering this post-UC Davis. They also provide success coaching and learning strategies on a one-on-one and workshop format. So if you're struggling with finding like the best way to study for a course, a success coach can assist you in like finding what study strategies work best for you. They have great workshops as well that you can benefit from. There's everything from task management to test taking skills. So I would encourage you all to seek their services throughout your time here at UC Davis. In our college, a lot of students are interested in pursuing health professions programs such as medical school, dental school, or pharmacy school, just to name a few. If this is the case for you either now or in the future, I strongly encourage you to connect with HPA, Health Professions Advising. They offer one-on-one advising and workshops where they can assist you with program prerequisites, like courses you need for medical school, test prep, and also application prep for the programs you're interested in pursuing. So for example, if you're a pre-med student and you have any questions regarding medical school or getting ready for medical school, you want to make sure you make an appointment with HPA for guidance, as they're really the experts on this area. Not only do we have advising type services throughout campus, but also the Student Health and Wellness Center that provides really a wide range of services. So there's medical services, right, such as meeting with the primary care physician, and also nutrition services where you're able to meet with a dietitian. The Student Health and Wellness Center also has mental health counseling services for students. So you can receive individual counseling, group counseling, even career counseling, specifically at this center. And there's also wellness services that a lot of students are encouraged to take advantage of, such as taking a cooking class. They offer a wide range of services. Like I said, I named a few, but I encourage you all to visit their website so you could learn a little bit more and then ultimately make an appointment with them, okay? The Office of Student Support and Judicial Affairs is another great resource just to be aware of. So if you ever face a crisis or some form of event that impacts your success at UC Davis, we have case managers on campus that can assist you. So for example, if you find yourself being displaced from home or from where you call home, a case manager can assist you in locating like housing, food assistance, even financial assistance, and overall making sure that you're okay. Case managers are really here to problem solve with you and make sure that whatever you're going through at that time doesn't impact your success at UC Davis. So if you find yourself in a hard situation like this, please reach out to this office and connect with the case manager. Thank you. The services for international students and scholars, SISS for short, has advisors that can assist international students, really with any questions that you may have, ranging from legal questions to student employment or questions regarding fees and tuitions for international students. SISS also hosts many events throughout the year where you can connect with other international students and build community that way. But there's also many community resource centers here at UC Davis. Some examples include the LGBTQIA Resource Center, the AB 540 and Undocumented Student Center, and the Cross Cultural Center. They all offer different services, but I encourage you to read through their websites, through their unique websites, and then visit their office. Their goal is to provide students a community. So if you identify with those identities, please reach out to them and utilize their services as well. I want to finish by saying that all the resources I introduced are available to you all. Yes, even right now, virtually, they are available. So please take advantage of them to ensure you're successful as a first-year student. Concludes my part.
Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming. So again, I'm Jay Stackwitz. I'm a professor in evolution and ecology, and I'm going to be talking to you about experiential learning. So experiential learning offers real-world training and hands-on experience, so outside of the normal sort of classroom experience. And there's a number of ways that me and some of my colleagues here will tell you about how to sort of get this kind of experience. And it includes a wide range of different kinds of activities. It certainly includes undergraduate research, which I'll talk about, but also internships, volunteering, tutoring, studying abroad, and so on. So there's lots of different options available to you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about research. Research and how you get involved with it, of course, it's working with a faculty member, or that faculty member's lab might be their graduate students or other researchers in their lab that you might be assisting, and you're working as a team to answer unknown questions in biology. These could be basic knowledge, they could be application, they could be a mix of those things, everything from biomedical to environmental biology. So of course, this kind of experiential hands-on learning will be challenging, especially research in our sort of current remote format. But fortunately, as first-year students, mostly you're in a phase now where you're mostly preparing to get ready to sort of be involved in research. And there are things that you can do right now to prepare yourself to be able to take advantage of research opportunities when they do become available. So, for example, start thinking about what kinds of research are you interested in. Maybe you hear about something in a class that excites you. You can go and check out the websites of every faculty member in the college. They all have websites. You can look them up through their department and just start seeing who might be doing research that looks exciting or interesting to you. You can talk to your own professors in office hours especially, and TAs. I will tell you, early on in the quarter, office hours are often pretty sparsely attended. It's a great time to go and meet your professors, especially in this environment where you're not having that one-on-one contact in the classroom. And you can ask them about their research and how to get involved in research, even if you're not interested in their particular brand of research. So talk to faculty, and also all departments in the college have departmental seminars. What those are weekly events where it might be a researcher from UC Davis or someone from outside UC Davis comes in and gives a seminar on their research. Those are open to the whole UC Davis community. I know sometimes for undergraduates it can be intimidating to attend those in person because you don't want to be seen, you don't want to be thinking that, oh, I shouldn't be here. But first of all, you should be there. You're totally welcome to. But in a remote format, it's easy because nobody knows that you're there, right? You can just pop in and watch, and if it's boring, you can leave if you want, right? So you'll find those seminar listings on the CBS main website, or each department has on its website usually has a list of the seminars and the way to join, or an email to email someone to join if you wish to do that remotely. So these are the things that you can be doing to get yourself ready for research once we actually get to the point where you're able to start contacting faculty and saying, hey, do you have any research opportunities available? There may be some things available remotely right now, but right now I think focusing on getting yourself leveled in the classroom and prepared for research when we return to more in-person activities would be great. So now I'll turn it over to my colleague who will continue on with the next part of our experiential learning.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Millie again, and I'm going to cover the rest of what experiential learning resources are available on campus. First off, CURES. So what is CURES? CURES is a course-based undergraduate research experiences seminar. Students that are freshmen or transfer students can register for these CURES seminars who are curious about research at UC Davis. These seminars offer students opportunities to learn a variety of research skills. So what you'll do is you'll get hands-on experience. You'll be able to figure out further if research is something you want to pursue. And also it'll help you figure out if you want to further go work in a lab as a second or third, fourth year. Moving on, we are going to go into Undergraduate Research Center. The Undergraduate Research Center, also called URC, they offer advising on how to find research experiences, and also they help with how you can start the communication process with professors if you're interested in working in their lab. Besides that, they also offer info session workshops and conferences to promote engagement and also prepare students for successful working in labs or other experiences that you might like in all majors. Next slide. So We also have something called the Internship and Career Center on campus. What is an internship? An internship offers experience towards a specific major or field of study that you like to find either a career interest, or if you're just planning on trying to do something towards your major. At the Internship and Career Center, you can get assistance in participating in internships with corporations, small businesses, schools, government agencies, and also community organizations. Students who are specifically interested in health professions after their undergraduate coursework and want to apply to health profession schools can also participate in something called health-related internships, also called HRIs. This is where you can volunteer at specific local hospitals and clinics to gain experience in the medical field. Also, besides that, the Internship and Career Center also offers career research, resume, and materials to help you find jobs, and also workshops to help you with interview skills and how to work with job offers. Next slide. Student-run clinics. Now, to touch on those students who want to participate in applying to a health professions program after they graduate, we have also community clinics that are run by physicians and medical students that are in our local area. These medical students and physicians train undergraduate volunteers who want to, help with serving the underserved populations who can't afford healthcare in the surrounding area. The undergraduates who volunteer for these clinics can help with figuring out if healthcare is the career of their choice, and they will get hands-on experience and early opportunities on training on how to, work in patient care and also how to work in front desk areas. Next slide. CalTeach is something more for students who are interested in teaching after they graduate or getting their credentials. This program is specifically for teaching students to work in California to meet the critical need for teachers in K through 12. The program offers students coursework as well as internships to help focus specifically in the students teaching math and science. Students interested in a career in math and science will explore ways to effectively teach and also practice hands-on experience with students in K through 12 classrooms. Last slide. Next slide. Okay, this is the last slide I have. Global Learning Hub. What is the Global Learning Hub? It's a center where you can get a network of local, global academic, experiential, and leadership programs all under one roof. Students can go to participate in these things all over the world. There are study abroad programs that go to 30 different countries where you can go and learn and participate in also global internships as well as research. And they also offer students opportunities to immerse themselves in leadership as well as workshops and seminars.
Thank you, Millie. Next, we're going to start the live Q&A portion of this webinar. So we have faculty, BASC staff, and also peer advisors. So feel free to continue inputting your questions into the Q&A box, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. So we could go ahead and get started since we have a lot of questions already in the Q&A. The first question that I'll ask to our panel is, Any advice for the first day nervousness and stress of the first day of school?
I think Jay would like to take this question. Go for it.
Sure. You know, it's totally natural to be a little nervous, especially because you may not have done this kind of remote learning. But the thing to realize is that, of course, I think lots of people are feeling this way, including many of your faculty members are feeling this way, because it may be the first time they've taught a class like this. So, you know, just kind of relax, calm down. You know, one of the advantages of this new learning format is that almost everything is going to be recorded. So if you miss something, you'll be able to go back and do it again. So just, you know, just kind of relax, try to take it in, take a deep breath, and, you know, at some level, you know, it'll all work out. I think you'll find that in a week or so, you'll feel pretty comfortable. And if you don't, go ahead and go to office hours and talk to your faculty members about what kind of difficulties you're having. We are here to help.
Thank you. Let's see. We have a similar question that reads, Amy asks, what kinds of questions aside from research would be good to ask a professor during office hours if we're trying to get to know them? Ken, go ahead.
So I think a great question to ask is, how did the professor get where they are? What was their career path? How did they believe it or not, we were all in your shoes. It was a long time ago for some of us, but it's a great question to ask. Like, how did you get here? You'll be surprised at the answers. Almost none of them are simple stories, and they're all, and we love to talk about it. So that's a really easy one to get faculty talking in office hours.
Thank you. A student asks, do professors get irritated if I ask a lot of questions? I ask a lot of questions even on little things. I see Ken.
Short answer is no.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Ken, would you agree with that?
Absolutely not. I start every class that I start teaching, I always say there really aren't stupid questions, and I love questions. There may be a moment, especially in our remote world, where we have to put a question on hold because we have to move on. But I will always encourage students to email me or post to discussion boards. So all questions are valuable. Ask. Besides, if you don't ask them, there's somebody else in the audience who wants to ask that question.
Absolutely.
So you're doing everybody a favor. So please ask questions.
Yeah, I would agree that the problem is more the other way. It's hard to get people to ask questions, particularly if it's a large class. And the questions help the instructor. They don't hurt, because like Ken said, if you're thinking of that question, chances are someone else is too, and it's something that we're just not aware of for whatever reason. In Zoom, it's a little different. I actually will have a student in a small class assessing the chat and the questions and then forwarding them to me if they're important. Otherwise, I'll wait till a set period to answer them. Normally, I just have people raise hands, but it's hard to watch the chat while you're teaching on Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you all. We have a student who asks, I heard from someone that my degree is not always the most accurate. If so, what resources should we turn to instead?
All right, I'll go ahead and tackle this one. So I want to say my degree it's an academic advising tool that got introduced, how many years ago? About 2, 3. It's relatively new, right? And it's meant to be used paired up with OESS, so your student information, portal. I will highlight a couple of strengths about my degree. One of it, you all have access to my degree, right? So the more classes you take, the more of an opportunity for my degree to put those classes in those boxes towards your general education. My degree is really good about maximizing your general education courses. OESS, on the other hand, can be used towards more practical things like perhaps GPA calculator. If you're wondering what's the lowest possible grade that I can get to be in good academic standing, there you go. To keep track of your major requirements, a lot of majors have what they're called as degree worksheets. So you can use OESS to keep track of your degree worksheets, perhaps an academic plan, 1 quarter, 3/4 graduation plan, right? You have those tools available at your disposal. Use that in My Degree for your GEs, and then you're good to go. However, these tools are not meant to replace a one-on-one academic advising appointment. So do a little bit of legwork on your own. That way, when you come to an appointment with us, you show up prepared, right? It's not about just showing up, show up prepared. And then we can have a much better conversation about, you know, what do you want to do moving forward in your career? What are your, you know, aspirations and goals, as opposed to just like, here's your degree, here are the boxes you need to check. Also, I want to point out that we are joined by 4 peer advisors. So I'm going to take a little bit of pause for them to introduce themselves. So these are students in your major and colleges just like you. So hopefully we can ask maybe 1 or 2 questions that are like specifically geared towards the student experience. So take it away. Brennan, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Brennan Silva. I'm a 3rd year biosci major, and this is my 2nd year as a peer advisor.
Emily.
Hello, everyone. I am Emily. I am going into my 4th year as a neurobiology, physiology, and behavior major, and also psychology minor. And this is also my 2nd year as a peer advisor for BASC.
Farah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Farah. I'm a 4th year genetics and genomics major, and I'm minoring in Spanish. And it is also my 2nd year being a peer advisor for BASC.
Thank you. Liz?
Hi, my name is Lisette Macias. I am a 3rd year cell bio major, and it's also my 2nd year as a peer advisor.
Awesome. And last but not least, Lauren.
Hi, I'm glad to see my videos working now. I'm a 6th year student, and I study evolution, ecology, and biodiversity. And I also study Italian language and literature.
Sweet. So now we have a full house. And Victor, what's our next question?
Yeah, thank you, Daniela. And please, everyone, enter your questions for your peers, peer advisors. Why don't we do a peer advisor question? An attendee asks, peer advisors, what can you help with?
Emily, go ahead.
That's a really good question. So outside of your academic advisors, as well as the faculty advisors, peer advisors are there to help assist you in setting up a 4-year plan and talking about like the different processes if you are interested in looking into that. We also can help look at GEs for you and track how far along you are in that. And the biggest thing that we do is, since a lot of us have taken some of the classes you are going to be taking in the College of Biological Science, we can provide you insight as to how those classes went, as well as like tips and tricks we've learned throughout our experience. Since you kind of learn things in college of how to be better by learning through them and like asking those questions. So that's what we can do for you.
Awesome, thank you. We have a question from a student, and this is kind of a reoccurring question. So a student asks, how can we change majors either into CBS or outside of CBS?
I can take this one. So the first step that you may want to take is to make an appointment with a peer advisor or also with a major advisor just to explore the other majors that are options for you. So you may make an appointment with somebody in the College of BioSci, or you could choose a different college. And then after that, you're going to make an appointment to do the official change of major with the intended major that you're trying to switch into.
Thank you. And we have a student who asks, when do advising appointments open again? And maybe can you talk to us about express advising as well?
Is it me? All right. So the first week of fall quarter, you can start making appointments. through the BASC website. And then can you repeat the second part of that question, Victor?
It's in regards to express advising.
Oh, yes. So express advising is special times during the quarter. So they're a unique, window of hours where you don't have to make a full appointment. It's actually a shorter appointment where you can ask, one question or so. And so yes, you don't have to, sometimes appointments get booked up and you may have to wait a while, but express advising is open the day of and you can just drop in for a question.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We have questions coming in a lot of questions coming in regarding research. So why don't we answer one of the students' question? There's a question that reads, what do students look for, what do professors look for in students when considering taking them or bringing them into their lab? I see Ken, raise your hand.
I'm sure we all have similar ideas on this, but I'm sure my colleagues will jump in with different ideas. But one of the key things for me, I look for a student who has passion and energy about asking questions about biology. That's different than coming in to fill in your resume and just get some experience. Not that that's not important, it is, but I also look for students who just have a real passion for wanting to understand biology. And so that's one of the first things that catches my eye in an email or in a personal interaction.
Thank you. And a student asks, will CBS internships and research cost me anything?
For research in a faculty member's lab, no, that shouldn't cost you anything at all. You can certainly take it for units if you want, but it's not required that you take it for units for many faculty members. But no, it doesn't cost you anything to participate in research in a faculty member's lab.
Thank you.
I'm going to add something right here. If for any reason you receive an email of an opportunity that is requiring that you pay, right? Bring that forward to our attention, right? Because lately with this new format of remote instruction, the Internship and Career Center has let us know that the number of scams has gone up. So beware of those emails that are asking you to pay money up front to participate in these opportunities. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Daniela. We have a question from a student that reads, how worried do you think that we need to have a full plan for our entire time at UC Davis regarding class schedule? Emily, I see you raised your hand.
So when I was a first year student, I came in wanting to have the exact plan for my 4 years, like have it down to the mark of exactly what's going to happen. But through my experience, through being a student at UC Davis, it does change around. So it's okay to plan ahead and try to have things planned out a little bit, but always know that things can change. And that's what your advisors and peer advisors, as well as faculty advisors, are there for, to ask those questions. If something comes up and say a class that you were planning to take a certain quarter isn't offered, then to troubleshoot those things. And it's okay to not have an exact plan. I've changed my plan many, many times in my 4 years. So you don't have to have it all set in stone from the beginning.
Can I add something to this?
Yeah,
Go for it.
So I have 3 children, all entered college, undecided, not knowing what they wanted to do. All 3, 2 graduated in 4 years, 1 graduated in 3 years, and they all are very happy and successful in what they're doing now. So you do not need, I came in knowing exactly what I wanted to do, and I'm happy too. So and I ended up changing that. I should add too. I didn't end up doing exactly what I thought I was going to do. So this is what you decide now is not going to set your whole entire life. You have to sort of take in what's going on around you and live with your experience and figure it out.
I think Ken wants to add something to that too. This was a really good question.
Yeah, just quickly to agree again with Mitch's sentiment. This is a time for exploration and discovery. I mean, what's most valuable, honestly, about your college education is that you might be surprised at what you learn and the changes in direction you take. So yeah, be open. You don't have to have a plan.
Thank you. We do have a couple of questions regarding labs. So a question reads, how are labs going to work this year?
Okay, let's go.
Ken, I see your hand.
Yeah, since I teach in a lab, and yeah, so it's a little complicated. Mostly at the moment for fall, obviously things are remote. Everyone is doing their best to provide you with the kinds of analytical and critical thinking skills you would get in the lab, but obviously it's not the same as in person. So we're all just going to do our best in the fall. We don't know what's going to happen, obviously, in the winter. I think there might be one lab that's being offered in person this fall, but obviously I think that might even be for upperclassmen. So maybe somebody else knows the details. So yeah, hang in there. There will be time to get experiences in lab. This will, you know, change eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. We have a question from a student who says, what if the class appears on your Canvas, but in Schedule Builder, it appears that you are number 1 on the wait list? Does this mean that you are in the class?
I think
Farah?
So I would follow Schedule Builder. Sometimes professors will open up their Canvas to students that are waitlisted so they can access the course material in case they get off the waitlist. But your Schedule Builder will be the most accurate based on if you have a spot in the class or not.
Awesome. So we have room for about maybe 1 or 2 more questions before we call it a day.
Okay, so let's see. A student asks, what if you have class that takes place during the professor's office hours? What should the student do in this case? I see Emily raise your hand. Go ahead.
I've had this happen multiple times. So something, if your schedule doesn't work out to attend the office hours of a professor, you can always reach out to them. Usually in the first day of class, they'll tell you their best mode of contact, whether it be email, messaging through Canvas, and let them know your issue and say that you would really like to meet with them through office hours. And a lot of times they're very willing to work around their schedule with you, because if you show initiative, they're going to want to match you in that. So yeah.
And I think another thing you could do is, like I've done in classes, is I've, you know, made friends with other people that were in my class. And if they were open during that time, I'd have them take notes for me. So I think it presents an opportunity to get to know people in your classes and work together to study.
Mitchell, go ahead.
That is one thing that during the pandemic, actually, I found from my perspective is easier for me to accommodate students who have office hour conflicts than it was before, because it's easier for me to do it on Zoom from home where I don't have to worry about traveling from place to place, because my lab is actually off campus. So it's hard for me to have extra office hours on campus, but with Zoom I can do it anywhere.
All right. So one last question.
Our last question reads, on September 30th, do we only attend classes that have lectures on that day?
Okay, Lauren.
I see Lauren. Yes.
Yeah, it's sort of a unique situation where we're starting on a Wednesday. Because we're starting on a Wednesday, you only attend your classes that are for Wednesdays. And then obviously Thursday, Friday, and then the next week we'll start again on Monday. So only attend the classes that have section times on Wednesday.
Awesome.
Thank you. And this,
Go ahead.
sorry, this concludes our Q&A, so I'll pass it over to Daniela. Thank you everyone for all your great questions.
All right, everyone. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for showing up for today's presentation. We definitely had a lot of fun putting this together for you all. We hope that although you feel nervous, that you use that nervousness to prepare, to feel excited. It's okay to experience everything that you know, your first day of classes will bring about. Remember, we are here for you remotely through the screen, but nonetheless very much present and excited for you. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You know, we'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.